Hey guys, it's Drew here. Today I'm going to go over some reasons why your car might not start. Most of them are battery related. This is a 1997 Chevy Tahoe, but this applies to almost all vehicles. The first one you're going to have is if you're turning your key and all you hear is a click, 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 click. That's a dead battery for sure. That's basically the starter is not kicking over at all. There's no power. You might still have a little bit of radio or partial light on in your car, but that is a dead battery. Your click is a definite dead battery. All right, so number two is obviously no sound at all. Nothing happens when you turn your key. There's no power, no radio, no nothing. That's also a dead battery. See, the third scenario is we're going to make some sound effects here. Is if it goes and sometimes it'll crank on the third or fourth start, sometimes it won't. Again, it goes just not enough. That's your starter turning, but there's not enough power to start the car. So that's usually a bad battery as well, meaning you'll have lights in your car, your radio will work, your power windows will work, but the battery's not at full potential. Now, how you can test that is you'll take your car into an auto parts store, AutoZone, Advanced Auto, any of those stores, O'Reilly. They can test your battery for you, and they'll also test your alternator, but it's usually your battery when it's doing that. Okay, so your fourth issue when your car's not starting is going to be a scratching machine gun sound, like a all right, that's basically your fuel is not igniting. You have battery power, so that's not necessarily a bad battery, and your starter's turning. That's pretty much what that means is you're having a problem with, you could have anything from water in your gasoline, you could have a problem with your spark plugs, you could have a problem with the engine itself. That's a tough one to diagnose. But if you hear that, your battery's working, so that means it's cranking. All right, so the fifth scenario is if you're driving down the road and all of a sudden your power just stops. Your car just shuts off. Sometimes you'll lose your power steering, your power brakes. It's kind of a scary scenario if you're on a freeway. That's usually your alternator quitting. And a sign of that is if your radio dims or turns off, your power windows aren't working, and you just have a loss of power in the car. So basically what that is, that's your alternator right here. That's if the car stops while you're running. And there's no smoke coming from your car or anything like that. If there's smoke coming, it's obviously an issue with your radiator. But this is your alternator right here. It looks similar in almost all the cars. You'll see the copper there. When that dies, that charges the battery while you're driving. You ever wonder how the batteries last 3 or 4 years? The alternator charges the battery. It's actually hooked into this. So it's like a generator that recharges the battery every time you drive. So if your alternator's not working, your battery is actually going to die. Your car's just going to be running on the battery itself. When the battery is done and it doesn't have a charge anymore, there's nothing to keep your spark plugs firing while you're driving. So your car's just going to die out. So anyway, and like I said, I'm not really a professional mechanic, but, I dabble with cars a little bit. The best thing to do is I always go to an auto parts store first. If your car's still drivable, or if you get a tow truck to give you a jump or something like that, I go to an auto parts store. Those guys will usually talk to you. They love talking about cars, and they're not trying to make a ton of money on you like some mechanics are. So find out what it might be first and talk to those guys. And then when you figure out what it is, you can even take it to another auto parts store. Then go talk to a mechanic, But, mechanics nowadays, some of them are honest, some of them aren't. But you can really get taken if you're not aware of what's going on with your car and you just say it won't start. So a lot of times it is related to your battery. Sorry, it's a little bright today. It's only 95 degrees. But I just had this battery put in today, and I had the issue where it was, for about 6 months, it was just going, woo, 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 and then the car would start every now and then. But it was basically a bad battery. One of the cells in the battery had gone bad. So if you're looking to change your battery, I do have another video on how to change your battery. Well, anyway, guys, I hope this helps. If you like my videos and subscribe, I'll have plenty of other stuff. I've got lots of fix-it videos. And if you get a chance, click on some of those ads at the bottom of the screen. If you rewatch this, helps me out a lot. Also, watch the commercials in between videos. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and hopefully this helps. You can always ask questions down below. But yeah, I hope this helps as far as issues if your car will not start, some of the main issues. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is Drew. Have a good one.